I had never heard of sarcoidosis, and when they told me about it, I had no clue what it was. I am an executive director of human resources. I am married. Well, my husband is always very supportive. But in the beginning, I'm sure it was a nuisance to him as well, because I would cough through the night. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis of the lung in 1996. I had no symptoms. It showed up as a result of some other tests. And I guess it was about 4 or 5 years before I started to have symptoms. And when those symptoms showed up, it was a cough. A dry cough, nothing came up, but it was disruptive. I guess it took about another year before the cough really became chronic. I couldn't get through a sentence without coughing. And so when you're running meetings with large groups of people, that's very distracting. And that's when the specialist said, your sarcoidosis is active now. As I understand it, the sarcoidosis spreads through the lung, which makes it difficult to contract and expand. They started to manage the sarcoidosis with medication. The doctors prescribed corticosteroids for me. And fortunate for me, the medications worked. I understand for some they don't. For me, they did. The side effects of the medication were not that pleasant. But what I learned is you really have to do what the doctor tells you with regard to taking the medication, because it can affect my eyes. So we have to be careful. The cough stopped, and these side effects are temporary. So I realized that just keeping myself healthy was the most important thing. So far, my sarcoidosis is isolated to the lung. It could affect other parts of the body, which is another danger. The only thing that I find I have difficulty with is going up more than one flight of stairs. When I know I've got to go up 2 flights of stairs, I just need to be able to stop somewhere in between. Charles, look at this. Living with sarcoidosis. Sounds like the story of my life.
The story of the lives of a lot of people.
That's true. I have really begun to focus on eating well, not overdoing it, exercising and making sure that I get to walk at some point during every day. I was fortunate enough to be able to get a treadmill. When you take better care of yourself, you feel better. And then the better you feel, the more you want to keep feeling that way, so you continue to do what is making you better. I feel as though sarcoidosis, when it's as under control as mine is, I manage a very normal life. I travel, I work long hours, I spend time now working actively planning my daughter's wedding, and nothing having to do with sarcoidosis is keeping me from being effective at doing all of those things. And that's how I've lived with it. It's treatable for me, and I feel good about that. So life is going to go on because I allow it to go on, and I embrace it and move forward.